Good afternoon. This is once again your host, Soul Quest of the Soul Community. And I want to start a short series, or a series here on human rights. With all the events that's going on and the events that have been going on for decades, over centuries. Now, we've had the period of civil rights. Civil rights were to be able to go to the same schools, eat at the same restaurants, be able to say and do some of the same things, constitutional rights. Which, of course, in the Constitution, a lot of those rights were not for us. African Americans, as you want to call us, blacks, Moors, those rights were not for us. Those rights were for the freedom of the white, privileged people, the elite. Now, once again, I have nothing against anyone else of any race, creed, or color. I am just against those who are racist, prejudiced, evil. But with human rights, the rights to live, the rights to not be hunted, the rights to be able to walk down the street and not be profiled and targeted, murdered from birth, already marked before you even have a chance to prove who you are and not what you are. Too many times that has happened. Now, it does happen all across the world. People target those of their skin color, their culture, because what they believe they are, what they've heard, what they've seen. And this fear of not knowing, this fear of not being able to control someone, this fear of not able to be like someone or what they are capable of, or even this fear of not being able to do what these people are able to do. Jealous of us, wanting to be like us, so they assimilate our culture to be like them. But going on human rights, these recent events that have been happening, the deaths of many young black men, innocent, Trayvon Martin, John Crawford back in 2010, Jordan, Mike Brown, and many others who have been slain innocently, and then even criminalized just for an excuse of them to have a reason to murder them. It is no question of those who are not around in the black community of what happened. There's always a reason why we were killed. We are in danger. We are at war, fighting beasts who are attacking humans. I was in a discussion last night with Charlesetta Driver, aka Stir, strengthening ties in the race on One Positive Way Radio. Please check out our fan page, One Positive Way Radio. And we were discussing killing police brutality and the deaths and murders of innocent black young men and women, and anyone who is targeted or is helping us. We have to stop this. Find solutions, positive actions, and remember not to react, but to proact. Too many times we are reactive. We wait for the next situation to arise and we want to stir up together, have riots, protests for the next death of a young black male. Then several months later, we dissipate and go back to our regular lives. It is time that we are proactive, no longer waiting for a situation to happen, knowing that we are constantly oppressed, murdered, and hunted, and targeted, and fighting for our human rights. No longer just civil rights, but our human right to be here on this earth peacefully and live. It is time that we begin this new revolution, fighting for human rights. Now, looking at all these events, and like I said, not a movement, not a moment, but a movement. A movement continuous. It continues. It's continuous. It never stops. We must create a movement, which means we must have endurance, confidence, faith, diligence, and strength, and knowledge and resources. tactics, proper tactics and strategies. You cannot win a war just rushing in without thought, without a plan, a efficient plan. We must come at this the right way. We cannot go out there and attack the police, because as you can see, they're already militarizing the police. They've been militarizing the police for years, giving them military weapons, tanks, for small civilian towns here in our own soil. Giving these untrained police officers military equipment, military tactics. And then the next step is the National Guard. We must realize who is against us. We must join with those the right way and not come at them as beasts, but understand the beast at the same time. We must fight properly for our human rights. We demand our human rights. We have the right, as much as anyone else, if not more, to live here on the earth peacefully, fighting for our human rights. Join the causes, whatever revolution you can join. Starting September 1st, I am also a part of a movement for a week, from September 1st to the 7th, boycotting all major businesses that are not black owned, because that is one way to hit their pockets, which will affect them. Because we are major consumers, one of the majority consumers in America. That is a movement. And regardless of who may disagree with these methods, you are not a part of this movement. You will not stir us. You will not deter us, divert us from our stance in this movement. You may consider it racist as well. It's not. Do you not think it racist that many people who are not black don't support black businesses? Do you not think it racist of these young black men being targeted and murdered, and the cops walking around still being able to have fun with their families or getting paid leave? Do you not think it racist of the constant degradation, destruction, humiliation of my people every single day? The 28 deaths of young black men. Now, I know there's black on black crimes in our community, and we are working on that. We are influencing in the community in preaching and teaching and acting with positive actions to help heal our communities. But that is not the focus here. We're focused on these different human rights to be treated fairly and justly by others in this country. Like I said, this is part one of the Human Rights Movement's blog in the soul community. We must fight together in the remembrance of all those who have passed, especially Eric Garner, black man in Staten Island, who was just sitting there on the block, doing nothing to attack the police or harboring and harming anyone else on the streets. Yet, he was placed in a chokehold and suffocated, killed, murdered right there through chokeholds, pressing him on the ground. Illegal actions, and these police are walking around. And even when those who are confronted the police and asked them if they cared, or if they thought it was, what if it was their relative, they laughed at those who came to them. They think we are joke people. We have to take this stance seriously even more now than ever. They've always looked at us as a joke. We are not. We are powerful people, and we will show them that. But we do it the right way, with effective methods, rational methods, and positive methods. So many attacks, and so many things I can say in this video, but I will halt here. But remember, this is the beginning of a new revolution, and we must continue to fight for our human rights. Stop complaining. Act, and act together. We cannot do this alone, each individual by themselves, or each small group. We have to join together. That is our true power and wealth. Joining together. And we will continue this in the next one. Thank you. Please check me out here on my Soul Q page on Facebook. Also here on YouTube. Please subscribe to my video blogs. And also my Facebook page. under Justin Toney. That's Toney. If you want to connect with me, please inbox me. Anything, leave your comments below this video. If there's anything else you want discussed here, if you want me to discuss anything with you, I will be glad to. Any negative comments will be deleted. It will not be tolerated. Alright? Thank you all for joining me here, Soul Quest, on the Soul Community. Peace, love.